game, Dewalt versus Mihu, so let's get it started. Alright, spawning here in the top right. You all know him, it's the Russian Protoss legend, Dewalt.
And down here in the bottom right, our Chinese Terran player, Mihu. Bit of an innovator. This guy has changed AVP in some ways, getting players to focus more on the heavy early tank pushes and lower overall upgrade timings. Like, this guy makes a lot of units and he pushes you very hard.
Yeah, this is actually a player that I personally should pay a little bit more attention to, because I tend to play a much more like defensive turtle style, and I don't like that I play that way. The way that Mihu plays TVP is what I want to be playing, right? So I really should be watching more of his games and kind of keep an eye on the things that he does. I feel like early aggression TVP is pretty underrated, and Mihu obviously feels the same way, that this is not a defensive matchup if you don't want it to be.
Yeah, that can be true, for sure. Dewalt looks like he's going to take a Nexus first. There we go. Nexus first on Radion. Not a bad choice, man. A lot of players are going for the Nexus first here, and if you can get away with it, definitely gives you a bit of an edge. Not cross map, but still very long rush distance here between bottom right and top right.
Yeah. Yeah, when it's cross spawn on this map and you get 12 Nexus, you pretty much have no options as Terran. You just kind of play a little bit greedy or go for the early map control, because trying to bust the 12 Nexus cross spawn and Radion it feels almost impossible. It's like your units are traveling across the map for an eternity before you get there.
Let's see. The timing here on Mihu's factory feels a little bit slow. Can I throw it down at 233? That's all right. 12 gas around 230 mark is pretty strong timing. It's when most professional Terran players are able to get their factory out, but it's not really going to give him much options for aggression. If he was to go for something like an 11 gas, maybe he could get a Vulture over in time, but as long as Dewalt's hitting his build, he should be able to have a Dragoon here on the ramp in time for that Vulture coming in, as well as hit his macro. And yeah, there's not a lot of room to punish here. You were right, Ozzy. I don't think he's going to be able to get anything going, but he's sending the Marines across the map. Yeah,
he's still pumping Marines. He made... did we make an extra depot? I assume we did. Okay, it's actually... Yeah, not super late, or super early. So yeah, here's the SCV pool. It's actually a little bit unfortunate because he had the gas timing at 27 to 27, but I think he got maybe a little bit lazy with his mining. But this is the greedy 1-gate version from Dewalt, so this is going to be a really hard hold for him. He's going to have the 1 Zealot, and then maybe a 2nd Zealot behind this, but his army count's going to be a lot lower than it should be. Typically, you see the 2-gate version when it's post-spawn like this.
These are some good punches, though. Dewalt already getting 3 hits off. The Marines bringing them low early really makes it a lot easier to hold. And the shield battery as well, love to see it. Throwing down that shield battery here and setting up a wall. I mean, he might be able to just hold this off. There is a bunker coming, and the Vulture is now at the front, but a Dragoon pops out. That shield battery finishes. Another pylon needs to be finished. Okay, he only is able to get a little bit of energy off of that shield battery until this next pylon finishes. Targeting down the SCVs here is very nice. Gonna pull the probes as well. This is a bit of an awkward situation here for Dewalt, who kind of has to make the decision now. Do I fight, or do I give up this Nexus and run the probes up into the main base? He's doing kind of a middle ground here, pulling the probes, but not really challenging the fight just yet. Here we go, diving now on top of everything. Loses 1 probe, and another bunker is coming up here on the left side. He has to prevent that. Get over there and prevent that bunker. There we go. Mihu not able to complete that, and I think Dewalt has just barely managed to hold this.
Yeah, this isn't good enough for Dewalt right now. Mihu's going to try and get a few probes. We actually have a full wall here with the pylon shield battery, so we can't get the goons over to protect it properly. That's kind of unfortunate for Dewalt. Yeah, I was going to ask what the goon timing is. Goon range, so This is not good enough. We have a tank on the way. What research are we getting? Are we getting siege? Are we getting mines? And we're not getting anything. Do we already have mines? Huh, okay. Well, he's just going to try and contain him here, but not killing the Nexus. He did get a few probes, which is something. He's not really that far behind on workers right now, but Dewalt's going to start pumping workers off both Nexus, so by the time the CC is done, if we don't get any more damage, Dewalt's going to be incredibly far ahead. And yeah, we're just now starting siege mode.
This is looking quite bad here for Mihu. I mean, he's going to come in and try to poke a little bit right now, but the writing's on the wall. He's going to lose this bunker. There's 3 and only 1 SCV to repair. Now 4 Dragoons. He's got to get out of here. He could lose the tank if he's not careful.
Yeah, Dewalt might be afraid of mines, and yeah, we might see him walk that Zealot forward. Okay, he's just going to play a little bit defensive. I mean, he knows he's super far ahead right now. He doesn't need to push across the map and risk walking through a bunch of mines. I don't think he knows, he doesn't know if it's siege mode, he doesn't know if it's mines. But yeah, I mean, you see it now in the worker count, how incredibly far ahead Dewalt is, and it's only going to be a little bit worse by the time the CC is done. And yeah, that's something I've noticed on this map. And I actually stopped trying to bust 12 Nexus, and I was pretty excited to see Mihu go for it. But I stopped trying to bust 12 Nexus on this map because they just full wall like that, where they do like the gateways and pylons and things like this, and you can't get inside with your Vulture to fight against the probes and the goons and zealots and everything. So I thought Mihu was going to show me something different, but Dewalt's defense pretty much perfect. We're actually making more and more Marines. We might be going for a follow push. Mihu knows how far behind he is, and he knows that trying to macro out of this is it's an incredibly difficult task against someone like Dewalt.
No, this makes sense. Put everything together. Just, give it a nice try here. See if he can actually get in there, deal that damage. A lot of Marines here is going to be great body blocking for these tanks. As long as he keeps the Marines ahead and pulls the tank that starts getting targeted, he might be able to get some damage going here. I can't imagine him just running Dewalt over with the number of gateways he has and how many Dragoons he's managed to produce.
This might work.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see. Coming right up here towards this natural. There's a Reaver on the way, but only the shuttle is out right now. Tanks are sieging up slowly, getting closer and closer here to the front. All right, here comes that engagement. Marines doing a lot of body blocking here, even forcing the probes to come off the line as well. Now that there's vultures here in the mix, they're going to be targeting down a lot of these probes. I guess he can't quite break this, but how many probes can he kill?
Yeah, he's actually evening up the worker count pretty decently. It's unfortunate those vultures were a bit behind it. They were there tanking early for those tanks, and it might have been maybe not winnable per se, but he could have traded even better than what he did. And even though he did kill a lot of probes, we're once again having to remake Marines and making a bunker. And yeah, we see that third base coming down from Dewalt, and Miu's also going to have to pay the Reaver tax at home, making turrets and things like that. So decent damage. I don't know that I would say it's good enough. I mean, he's actually been pretty good about pumping workers behind this as well. Is Dewalt going to go for a bit of a bust here? He might go for a bust. We have only 1 tank just now coming out.
Yeah, this is... Oh my gosh, Reaver landing on the high ground as well. I could just kill the tank here. Oh man, this is going to go from bad to worse. Things were already pretty desperate, but as he gets the Reaver in here and kills the tank, now it's just completely over. Mihu has been outdone. After that defense, though, it was a pretty big long shot there for Mihu to try and find a way to come back.
Yeah, I don't hate what he did. It's one of those things where you're kind of catching, like, hoping to catch the Protoss being extra greedy, which is very common, right? Like, he defended really well the 12 Nexus, and a lot of times you'll see, like, a super fast third or something in response, right? So he's just hoping to catch Dewalt being a little bit greedy. I think it is about the best thing he could have done in that situation. Is going to defend here, which is amazing because I thought Mihu was 100% dead on my screen. So great defense from Mihu to keep the game going, but I mean, that third base is done for Dewalt, and he's up 10 workers right now. And Mihu has, like, nothing going for him at home.
Yeah, he might be able to catch a couple of probes over here. 2, 3, potentially. Maybe even more if the probes are this spread out, but eventually the Dragoons will come up and start to get rid of that, and already 47 drones are on the field, so If nothing changes here, like, I mean, what could Mihu think to do to actually come back in this game? Is it even possible to take a third and just play really defensive and hope for a bad trade? Or do you have to do something like a drop, get like an insane amount of damage going? I'm just trying to theorize what he could do to make it into this game.
It's tough, right? We see the 5 factories coming down now. He might go for a 5 factory push, but I mean, that sounds so doomed too. It's so far away from having enough supply to be able to push. It feels like, I know a lot of times when I'm behind, there's a lot of games in PvP where it's like you have bad fights or bad trades, and it's like, okay, well, I can't win anymore early. There might be an armory coming down. No, it's an academy. Okay, so no armory even. So he might just be going for another push. We're not making workers. He's just going to full commit to one more push before he GG's. That's what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah, that's definitely what it's looking like. Just a third part to this push. The first was with the attempted bust on the Nexus. Then comes the Marine tank attack. And now we're going to have this 5 factory push, but each one has seemed more and more desperate, and that desperation is in the air here. Dewalt definitely sensing it and feeling like he just needs to stay safe, build up this Dragoon count to a point where there's just no way to engage the army, get some zealots out here, get a couple extra shuttles, you know, just make sure you have the mass of units that can't be broken here, because this is the last hope of Mihu.
I love how patient Dewalt's playing this game, by the way. Like, he's getting these good fights and good trades, and he's not overcommitting to greed or anything like that, right? Because that's pretty much the only way I feel like he could die, is if we were, like, mass expanding and teching and stuff all at the same time. And that's what a lot of Protoss players would do, right? They're like, oh, I got a really good trade here, and then, you know, he failed to bust my 12 Nexus, and then I crushed this push where I killed all these tanks. But he just continues to stay on 3 base. He's not being super greedy, not taking a bunch of Nexus, not over-teching. And basically it's shutting down exactly what Mihu was going for. That being said, Mihu still has a really high army supply. Like, he's down 20 workers, and he's only down 30 supply.
Yeah, I think that Dewalt is playing the player, which is something you have to do when you're in a tournament. He knows that Mihu is an aggressive Terran player, and he knows that most likely he's going to just keep the aggression on when he gets into a bad spot. Other players, you know, they might have a tendency to play more defensive when they get a little bit behind, and then you can take advantage of them by being greedy. But Dewalt just knows, hey, if I play this one safe, if I you know, take my time here, then I can get into an even better spot. Now he is getting a little bit trapped here. Oh, nice target fire on that Reaver. We'll be able to kill a lot of these Dragoons as well. And so Dewalt will lose a big chunk of his army. And right before this push comes across the map, oh, he left some tanks behind, though. That's a little bit unfortunate here for me. Who wanted to defend these turrets, but he's going to lose 2 of his tanks. Oh, that's a great mine, dude. So many Zealots just died. I don't know, man. Can Mihu try to push this out? He has another opportunity here. Oh, the target on the Reaver, he will get it as well. Oh my goodness, he is actually making this work.
Wait, is Dewalt dead? This is crazy. How is this game even losable for Dewalt? And he's not being greedy or anything. This is pretty insane from Mihu. Coming back and killing those goons. He's got a great trade across the side of the map there. Now he's coming back. He's got a good tank count right now. Great. Wow, great scarab, though. I mean, Dewalt's starting to whittle this down a little bit, but I can't believe with how this game went that Dewalt's on the back foot right now. Like, this is legitimately scary for Mihu. This is crazy. I've been playing TVP all wrong, because when my pushes fail, my thought process is, oh, if I win, it's going to be 45 minutes from now, and it's going to be a miserable game. Mihu's like, no, I think I can still kill him. Like, that's crazy.
He's actually going to come up here, start to take a fight with these cannons. Might lose a couple of tanks for that, but he wants to, as quickly as possible, try to knock down this base, force a timer here from Dewalt, because he knows there's a lot of gateways behind this. There's a lot of Zealots being made right now, and eventually there is going to be an answer to this army, and so he needs to get some damage going right now. Drops are going to be landed out on top of this, a little bit out or a little bit in range of the tanks, I guess. Out of range, in range. You want to drop the Reaver as close to the tank as possible so it can't fire, but Dewalt allows those tanks to fire and takes quite a bit of damage on the Reavers, and they'll will hold this base for now, getting another Dragoon army out on the map. You know, that earlier Dragoon army, I really thought Dewalt was going to dive the natural with that, but he allowed himself to get caught there and flanked by the tanks that were coming back from the front. Hopefully he doesn't make the same mistake again with this little Dragoon army out here on the map. Just catching some rallies is probably going to be enough to eventually overwhelm this army.
That 1 HP Reaver holding down the fort. Dewalt getting great trades now with his Reavers on that high ground. Able to defend that base, able to push in here and gonna push this back. I think he knows about the third base, so he can pivot to deny that after he pushes these tanks back. Mihu's still very aggressively pushing up this base. These Reavers are very low, so a little bit of a mistake and Dewalt could lose those Reavers. And he's still, I mean, he's yeah, I don't know, actually, there's 4 Reavers out.
4 Reavers is, that's some math. Do that math. Yeah, how do you push through this? Okay, tanks are going to be all taken down and everything going to be pushed back here. Mihu losing his foothold on the map, and Dewalt has stabilized. It looked a little dicey there for a moment. You got to give it to Mihu for staying tenacious and staying aggressive throughout this. He's made it into a pretty interesting game, but Dewalt is starting to double the supply now of Mihu. Very close to it.
Yeah, Mihu did finish that third. He's going to get a transfer. It does have an armory working a little bit. A little bit unfortunate that Dewalt didn't just kind of shift his goons over earlier and deny that base, so it is going to keep Mihu in this game a little bit longer. Might go for a bit of a snipe here. We got a moment. Yeah, gonna get the siege up. Perfectly picked up as well to avoid getting tank shot. Scarab does go off, but SCVs are tanky enough, unlike the other 2 workers, to actually take partial Reaver shots. And just going to be annoying with these Reavers while it's growing. He's mining on 4 bases now. Supply is up 60 supply right now. Main base mined out for Mihu, but yeah, I mean, crazy props to Mihu for being able to make Dewalt sweat after pretty much the dream opening, I feel like.
That's for sure. Mihu, he's just getting his +1. It's been a long time coming. Oh my gosh, this gets out. Holy crap. 4 HP on that shuttle, and that Reaver with a ton of kills and almost no health on it as well. Going to be brought back to the army. 60 supply army advantage here is massive, and I'm not sure that Dewalt's even going to let Mihu sit here on these bases. Now is the time for Mihu. You know, we were talking about aggression for a long time, but now there's the opportunity maybe for Mihu to just sit back and let the aggression come to him. He can sit here on this third base, and if Dewalt takes a bad fight, then maybe we can see Mihu take it into an even larger game, and we can see this get even closer in the future. But for now, just dropping into the back. Oh my goodness, these could be some amazing Reaver connections. A big Storm comes in as well. Wasn't expecting that already, but there it is. Storm killing a ton of workers, and the saturation at this base is crazy. So many SCVs are here.
Yeah, it's a bit unlucky for Dewalt. That bottom Reaver couldn't shoot because that High Templar was blocking all the Scarabs, so not a single Scarab got out from that bottom Reaver, but did still kill a lot of the workers. It was actually almost even on workers. He killed like 8-ish, it looks like. And we might just get another follow-up push from Mihu. This kind of lines up with the image I'm getting here of Mihu. It's like, oh, you just lost a bunch of units on this shuttle bomb. I'm going to push you now. Like, it seems like any time something happens, Mihu's appropriate response is attack my opponent.
Yeah, he really does seem to have an MO in that regard. Storm on top of the Observer. Not even in PvP are Protoss Observers safe from that play. Gonna go ahead and almost kill that Observer. Does manage to survive and will continue to spot this army as Mihu inevitably pushes forward. Why do you even need to see the army here, Dewalt? You know he's going to be just pushing forward. That's where he's going. He's headed towards your base. This is not enough army though, and look at all the zealots coming down from Dewalt. The drops on top of this as well. Mihu gonna lose everything, and GG is called. Some crazy aggression shown here by Mihu though. Game number 1.
Yeah, that was pretty insane. I'm impressed. Like, Dewalt got the win, but I'm impressed with Mihu, honestly. Like, a failed 12 Nexus bust where Dewalt ended up like 10 plus workers ahead into a follow-up push where I legitimately thought for a second that Dewalt was actually going to die. And then there was another push. So yeah, sorry, there was the, what was it, like 5 tanks plus Marines push, and Dewalt shut that one down. And then there was a 5-fact that came at like 13 minutes or something crazy that actually almost killed Dewalt. Like that's so scary to me. If I had lost a game like that as Dewalt, I would be so tilted because it couldn't have gone much better than what it did. All right, looks like we are ready to hop into game number 2 here of Dewalt versus Mihu. Hopefully we get more of the same. That was exciting. All right, spawning here in the bottom left on Metropolis, we have our Terran Chinese player, Mihu.
And spawning down in the bottom right, we got Dewalt, a Russian Protoss player. Siberian Protoss. Enjoying the summer weather, I hope. Doesn't last for long up there. Oh, really? Okay.
Apparently Dewalt's
Do you know where in China,
right
Zero?
So Dewalt is in China because he was there for the tournament and he's staying there for a couple of weeks. So he has a bunch of show matches every day, so definitely worth of watching him, but this match was played from China, so it was 24 low. Okay, I'm muting myself back again.
So there you go, Twitch chat. Those of you that were trying to make the excuse of the low turn rate messing with Dewalt's micro, turns out he was playing on 24 turn rate. Mihu was just making Dewalt sweat that much. That's what it was.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta be sweating when this guy's attacking you like a rabid dog. He's just after you. Does not stop. Keeps on going. So often we see these Terran players back off and just wait for, you know, an upgrade timing and get ready for, you know, that late game max Terran army. That's what they're looking for. That's what the way they like to play, like that light style of TVP. But this guy, he has no room for that. He's got no mind for that. He's just going to look to kill you at every opportunity.
Yeah, I like it. It's a much more exciting style for sure. And like I said, it's something that maybe... So it's something that I kind of would want to adopt, but maybe not to that degree. I didn't realize he was like that out of control and bloodthirsty, right? But I don't know if he does this like all the time, but I mean, I see the thought process. I saw the vision. I understood why he did what he did. But yeah, it's fun to watch, but man, that's hard to execute because you've got to be perfect at home while pushing like that too.
Yeah, there's a reason why a lot of Terran players prefer that more macro-focused style, and you know, hitting those timings. You can there's a little bit more room for mistakes in execution here. Just one Marine has been made. That is a bit of greed, I would say, from Mihu trying to get this CC out with just a single Marine. He's going to get punished here by this gateway on low ground Zealot. Coming across the map, putting on that damage. He manages to pull the SCV just barely in time, keeping all the SCVs alive so far, but most of these SCVs on the low ground are super low. They've got no HP. This one right here, particularly on 1 HP. Not even going to take a mind to that. Just going to go ahead and run right past. Kills the Marine with a probe there. A lot more SCVs are going to have to be pulled if he wants to get the CC done. Big risk being taken by Mihu, and he's getting punished.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is a little bit painful. Bunker just now starting. This Zealot's still very healthy. The Marine getting pretty low. Got an additional unit coming across here for... Man, great stutter micro, actually. And yeah, if that goon gets here and there's nothing in this bunker, the game's just over. I guess the bunker will finish, but a lot of these SCVs getting pretty low. And now he can't even go into the bunker, right? Because he has to worry about the walk by as well. So taking one swipe of that Marine and swapping to go back to the other. Another SCV going to go down before that bunker goes down. So I guess the bunker is going to get out. Oh man, these SCVs were so soft from all those shots earlier. But no factory even started yet for Mihu. If we have range on the way, he's going to be repairing forever. And yeah, range is almost done. This might just be over. Even though Mihu might not die here, the amount of damage is going to take from repairing for the next, I don't know, couple of minutes minimum. the game might even out a little bit, I guess, because we're going to be pumping workers, but 3 goons on this bunker for this long is going to hurt.
Yeah, it's going to take that Protoss tax. Not really too much Mihu can do about it, and by the time he gets a tank out, there's going to be at least 4 Dragoons there, so he may even have to, you know, sit back and wait for siege mode, not wanting to risk the tank kind of poking the Dragoons there. With the 4, you can easily 2-shot that tank, so we'll see if Mihu can recover this situation again in kind of a bad start. Are we just going to see Mihu double down on aggression and just, you know, go again as his response to this this kind of early deficit?
Yeah, Mihu's done a good job of not missing a beat with his workers, at least. We're gonna have 4 goons showing up soon. How far off are we on that tank right now? Yeah, the add-on not even done yet. We're gonna get to the point too where these goons can actually start to threaten the SCVs. Yeah, there's the 3rd Nexus coming down. I like this in the early 3rd Nexus. At 440, that's pretty good. He knows that tanks aren't going to be coming out. Basically, there's no way that a push can be coming out anytime soon.
Yeah, that's for sure. Did take quite a bit of damage on that 1 Dragoon at the top. Not sure what that was about. I guess he was like, I don't know, just miscontrol running in and having a look. I'm not sure exactly why that went so deep, but took some damage on that Dragoon. Gonna bring forward the 5th Dragoon. Now it's getting really scary. The SCVs, an extra one has to be pulled off, and now they're going to start getting closer to the Dragoons and easier to pick off. He's going to move forward with this tank. Dude, if he loses this tank right now, oh my gosh, he's being so risky with it. Is he going to die?
With a little bit of a fake.
Oh, here we go. Diving on top. He got 3 hits there, so he has to get a couple more. There we go. He does get the tank. Yeah, it's just so dangerous to do something like that. I'm really surprised to see Mihu send that tank out as far as he did, not just wait for siege mode.
Yeah. Yeah, poking forward when there's 5 goons is pretty scary. I love that little shimmy that Dewalt did to kind of fake Mihu out a little bit and make him less certain, right? It kind of made him pull back and then walk back into the goons. But yeah, siege mode done now. It is a little bit unfortunate that Mihu didn't just wait, you know, another like 5 seconds to get siege mode and keep that tank alive. But yeah, it was a nice little dance there from Dewalt to kind of bait him in. Observer going to come in here, going to get full information. He's going to see that he's just now building factories 2 and 3. You're going to see no armory, and Dewalt is so comfortable. Yeah, he's only even on workers right now, but he just has map control for a very long time.
Yeah, I feel if oh, okay. Not sure what happened to that Marine. I guess maybe a cancel, and then it right at the end of the build time. I'm not sure. He killed it? Okay. He killed it to open up some supply. I have a really good feeling that if Dewalt just makes a Citadel, gets Zealot speed and a bunch of gateways, he can probably win this game, because we are going to see, I think, that aggression out of Mihu doubling down on that probably 5-6 factory. What do you feel, Ozzy?
Yeah, I think so. That's kind of what we're leaning towards. I didn't see an armory again, right? So if there's no armory, we're 100% going for a push here. And that just kind of seems the Mihu way. It's either, hey, this game was not going well, I'm going for a push, or hey, this game's going well, I'm going for a push. So either way, it seems like we're attacking. And yeah, there's the 5th factory now. 5th factory, maybe a little bit awkwardly timed. Depends when he wants to push, but then might only get like 1 or 2 rotations of units before he pushes out.
I think 6th factory, yeah, 6th factory starts, I believe, in the main, so I guess that's the reason why it's a little later.
Okay.
Just adding on the 2 more, and maybe going to wait a little bit longer before doing the full-on push. He's going to start to move forward here a bit, but there's a Reaver coming. Needs to make sure that he's got everything set up back at home, has some mobile defense as well, because there's always one location where the Reaver can land and start to deal damage in the base. Even if you have like a full turret set up, you can't afford to build that many turrets to completely keep the Reaver out. You got to have some sort of mobile defense.
Yeah, the last thing you're wanting to do when you're going for a big push timing is, especially off of a deficit, is make a big turret ring, right? Especially on a map like this. Like on this map, if you want a proper turret ring, you need like an extra 2 or 3 turrets, which feels terrible.
Yeah, that's for sure. Everything coming online now, Mihu angling for this attack. I really wouldn't like to see Dewalt take another base right now. I want to see him just build up a massive gateway count and make sure that he has enough for this attack, because Mihu is desperate again, and he can't quite see these other factories. I think he might have been denied the vision on those. But Mihu, of course, typical aggression. He's just going to come flying out here and try to end this game as soon as possible. That's a lot of zealots to work with, so you know that Dewalt kind of sensed this out. He knows that there's going to be some sort of an attack coming. Does he have speed, though, in time? That's going to be very important here.
Did Mihu skip Academy? I think he skipped scanners here. Yeah, so he skipped scanners, and he sees that with the Observer. If Dewalt's paying attention, he's making DT behind this. DT with a shuttle just completely and utterly shuts us down. But it looks like he's not putting that together. Just going to go for this big fight here with his shuttle and zealots. But this is a huge zealot count getting on top of the tanks very early. And we don't even have room to retreat because of these mines we put up behind us. So doing about as well as he could to avoid his own mines, but this push getting cleaned up pretty easily. Dewalt having a nice, healthy supply lead now. And we might see that extra Nexus come down after he cleans this up.
Yeah, this is like a 90% win rate now for Dewalt. There's almost no way to make a comeback after going this hard into 6 factory and then, you know, not having any upgrades going, not having that armory, and not having Academy, any of the other tools that are necessary for a late game Terran. He's just foregone that, and he's lost his entire tank count. So he doesn't really have anything going for him, whereas Dewalt, I mean, he's got all the options open. He's going to continue to kill tanks, running them down all the way to the natural, and this just gets worse from here.
I think Dewalt is doing exactly what you said last game. He's playing the player, right? He cut probes at a very low probe count when Mihu actually wasn't that far behind. Like, Mihu didn't have to go for this push. He might have thought he was further behind than he was. He was actually up 40 to 39 in workers. And Protoss was just mining on that 3 base, so Mihu could have played it out here, but Dewalt, I think you're right. He's playing the player. He delayed that 4th for a very long time. He cut probes very early. He made a ton of units, and he ended up smashing this push.
Yeah, if you know it's coming, you definitely can, you know, put together enough ground army to stop that 6 factory, and he has indeed shut that down. GG is called as Mihu taps out.
Yeah, nice little 2-0 win there for Dewalt. You know, I said Mihu was favored, but Dewalt played it really